War is inevitable. The Zanari conquerors advance, laying waste to worlds, enslaving populations, and erasing civilizations. Humanity's meager colony planets lie next in their destructive path. The Galactic Council, in a desperate final gambit, dispatches the human diplomat John Hill to the Zanari flagship. He stands alone before Ceres, the towering supreme commander of the alien armada, carrying the weight of humanity's fate. Ceres looms over John, her 4 obsidian eyes boring into him, her serrated mandibles clicking in anticipation. "Your species faces annihilation," Ceres hisses. "What do you offer in exchange for your pitiful lives?" John meets her gaze unflinchingly. He begins to speak, his voice steady and clear. But instead of bargaining with territory or resources, he talks of hopes and dreams, of emotions and experiences that transcend species. He shares tales of human compassion, sacrifice, and resilience. John's words paint a picture of a vibrant human culture, one driven not by conquest, but by an unrelenting spirit to explore, discover, and connect. Most strikingly, John expresses understanding for the Zanari's own history of strife, the very crucible that forged their militaristic civilization. His empathy resonates through the chamber, causing a ripple of unease among the assembled alien leaders. They see reflected in humanity a depth of feeling and potential they once thought unique to their own kind. As John concludes his speech, a heavy silence falls. Ceres regards him intently, her stance shifting almost imperceptibly. Then she extends a razor-sharp appendage towards John. The human refuses to flinch, even as the blade hovers inches from his throat. In that tense moment, the entire universe seems to hold its breath, waiting for the Zanari's judgment, one that will decide the fate of humanity. In the breathless silence of the Zanari flagship's command chamber, Ceres slowly retracts her blade from John's throat. Her obsidian eyes narrow as she studies the human diplomat, her expression unreadable. Then with a click of her mandibles, she speaks. "Your words are intriguing, human," Ceres says, her voice a rasping whisper. "You speak of understanding, of shared experiences. These are foreign concepts to the Zanari." She turns to face the assembled alien leaders, her stance regal and commanding. But perhaps there is wisdom in considering them. Murmurs ripple through the chamber as the Zanari commanders confer among themselves. John remains still, hardly daring to breathe, as the fate of humanity hangs in the balance. Finally, Ceres raises a clawed hand, silencing the room. "We will not exterminate your species today," she declares. "Instead, we will observe, learn, seek to understand what drives your kind." Her gaze locks with John's once more. "But know this, human, our armada remains poised at your borders. Should you prove unworthy of this chance, we will not hesitate to finish what we started." John nods solemnly, the weight of responsibility settling heavily on his shoulders. "I understand, Supreme Commander. We will not squander this opportunity." With those words, a new era begins, one of tentative peace between humans and Zanari. As the alien fleet withdraws from human space, John returns to Earth with a message of hope tempered by caution. The road ahead will be challenging, but for the first time in generations, there is a chance for coexistence. Months pass, and an extraordinary exchange program takes shape. Zanari scholars and dignitaries, led by the renowned cultural anthropologist Lyrax, arrive on Earth to immerse themselves in human society. They walk the streets of New York City, marveling at the towering skyscrapers and the vibrant tapestry of cultures woven into the city's fabric. Lyrax finds herself drawn to the arts, attending gallery openings and music performances alongside her human host, Marcus Wright. She loses herself in the swirling colors of abstract expressionist paintings, feels the thrumming bass of a live rock concert in her bones. The passion and creativity of human expression touches something deep within her, a resonance that bridges the vast gulf between their species. In quiet moments, Lyrax and Marcus engage in philosophical discussions, trading ideas and perspectives shaped by their vastly different histories. Marcus introduces her to the human concept of empathy through literature, pressing dog-eared copies of classic novels into her clawed hands. As Lyrax turns the pages, she begins to see reflections of her own people's struggles in the stories of love, loss, and the search for meaning. Word of Lyrax's experiences spreads like wildfire through the Zenari ranks. More and more aliens flock to Earth, eager to learn and understand. In turn, human ambassadors voyage out to the stars, living among the myriad cultures of the alien alliance. Slowly but surely, the seeds of friendship take root, nurtured by shared experiences and a growing sense of kinship. One evening, Marcus takes Lyrax to a performance of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. As the tragic tale unfolds on stage, Lyrax is surprised to see Zoran, a battle-hardened Zenari commander, seated in the audience. Tears glisten in Zoran's eyes as the star-crossed lovers meet their fate, and Lyrax realizes that he, too, has been touched by the power of human storytelling. In that moment, looking out over the crowd of humans and aliens united in their appreciation of the play, Lyrax feels a profound sense of hope. The exchange program, born from a desperate gamble for peace, has become something far greater, a bridge of understanding that will shape the future of two civilizations. The road ahead is still long, and the scars of past conflicts will take time to heal. But as Lyrax takes Marcus's hand in her own, she knows that they are taking the first steps towards a brighter tomorrow, one where humans and Zenari may stand together not as enemies, but as friends. As the curtain fell on Romeo and Juliet, Lyrax found herself lost in thought. The play's themes of love transcending boundaries resonated deeply, sparking an unexpected realization. She turned to Marcus, her 4 obsidian eyes meeting his gaze. "I've never experienced anything quite like this," Lyrax admitted, her mandibles clicking softly. "The way humans tell stories, it's transformative." Marcus smiled, a warmth spreading through his chest. That's the magic of Shakespeare. He had a way of capturing universal truths. As they left the theater, walking side by side through the bustling streets of New York, Lyrax felt a shift in their relationship. The casual touches, the shared laughter. It all took on new meaning. She found herself drawn to Marcus's quick wit and boundless curiosity, while he marveled at her keen intellect and unique perspective on the universe. Weeks passed, and their bond deepened. They spent long evenings discussing philosophy, art, and the future of human Zenari relations. One night, as they stood on the observation deck of the Empire State Building, the city lights twinkling below, Marcus took Lyrax's clawed hand in his own. "I never imagined I'd feel this way about someone from another species," he said softly. "But Lyrax, I think I'm falling in love with you." Lyrax's antennae quivered with emotion. "I feel it too, Marcus. This connection between us, it defies everything I once believed about interspecies relationships." Their first kiss was awkward, a clash of human lips and alien mandibles, but it was filled with genuine affection. As news of their relationship spread, it became a symbol of hope for both humans and aliens. If love could bridge the gap between their species, what other bonds might form? Inspired by the success of the cultural exchange program and the growing number of human-alien partnerships, John Hill saw an opportunity to push for even greater cooperation. He proposed a series of joint scientific and exploratory missions, bringing together the brightest minds from Earth in the Zenari Alliance. The first mission was quickly approved, an expedition to study a mysterious cosmic anomaly at the edge of the galaxy. A diverse crew was assembled, including Dr. Alara Voss, a human astrophysicist known for her groundbreaking theories on dark matter, and Zoran, the Zenari commander, whose emotional response to Shakespeare had made waves throughout the alien ranks. As the sleek research vessel Horizon prepared for launch, Dr. Voss and Zoran found themselves working side by side in the ship's state-of-the-art laboratory. Initially, tension crackled between them, Zoran's military precision clashing with Alara's more intuitive approach to science. "Your calculations are flawed," Zoran growled, his mandibles clicking in irritation. "You're not accounting for the gravitational distortions caused by the anomaly." Alara's eyes flashed. "And you're not considering the quantum fluctuations we observed in the preliminary scans. We need to think beyond conventional physics here." Their heated debates echoed through the ship's corridors, but as the Horizon neared its destination, something changed. The first images of the anomaly streamed onto their screens, a swirling vortex of energy unlike anything they'd ever seen. In that moment of shared wonder, the barriers between them began to crumble. Alara and Zoran worked tirelessly, combining their unique perspectives to unravel the anomaly's secrets. They developed a symbiotic rhythm, anticipating each other's needs and building on each other's ideas. The rest of the crew watched in amazement as the human and Zanari scientists pushed the boundaries of known physics. Then disaster struck. A sudden surge of energy from the anomaly overloaded the Horizon systems, sending the ship spiraling out of control. Alarms blared as the hull began to buckle under the strain. In the chaos of the moment, Alara had a flash of inspiration. "Zoran!" she shouted over the din. "If we reverse the polarity of the shield generators and channel the excess energy through the main deflector, we might be able to create a stable bubble around the ship." Zoran's eyes widened in understanding. Without a word, he moved to the control panel, his clawed hands flying over the interface. Alara raced to reroute power systems, her heart pounding. It was a bold strategy, but their only chance of survival. As the ship shuddered around them, human and alien worked in perfect unison. With seconds to spare, they activated the modified shields. A shimmering field enveloped the horizon, holding firm against the anomaly's onslaught. In the aftermath of their narrow escape, Alara and Zoran stood side by side on the bridge, watching as the anomaly receded into the distance. The danger had passed, but something profound had changed between them. "We make a good team," Alara said softly, a newfound respect in her voice. Zoran nodded, his normally stern features softening. "Indeed, perhaps there is much our peoples can learn from each other." As the Horizon began its journey home, carrying with it groundbreaking data and the seeds of a deepening alliance, Marcus and Lyrax watched the ships approach from Earth. Their fingers intertwined. They marveled at the sight of human and alien flags flying side by side on the returning vessel. "It's really happening," Marcus whispered, his voice filled with awe. "We're building something beautiful together." Lyrax squeezed his hand gently. "This is just the beginning," she replied, her eyes fixed on the stars above. "Who knows what wonders await us out there, now that we face them united." As the Horizon docked at Earth's orbital station, the seeds of a grander vision were already taking root. Dr. Alara Voss, still buzzing from the groundbreaking discoveries of their mission, found herself thrust into the center of an ambitious new project. "An intergalactic arc," John Hill explained, his eyes alight with excitement as he addressed the assembled team of human and alien dignitaries. "We're calling it Odyssey." Alara's mind raced with possibilities. A mobile habitat capable of sustaining life across vast distances of space? "Precisely," John nodded. "And you, Dr. Voss, will lead the expedition." In the months that followed, the orbital shipyards became a hive of activity. Navik, a Zanari shipwright with a reputation for pushing the boundaries of design, arrived to oversee the construction. Her first meeting with Caleb Rhodes, a young human engineer assigned to the project, was terse. "Your propulsion calculations are flawed," Navik clicked, her mandibles twitching in irritation. Caleb didn't back down. "With all due respect, I've factored in variables you haven't considered. Look here." He pulled up a holographic display, fingers flying over the controls as he explained his reasoning. Navik's eyes widened, her antennae quivering with interest. "Ingenious," she admitted. "Perhaps there is something to be learned from human intuition after all." As construction progressed, Navik and Caleb's collaboration deepened. They spent long hours in the design lab, their initial friction giving way to mutual respect and something more. Navik found herself drawn to Caleb's quick mind and infectious enthusiasm. For Caleb, Navik's alien perspective opened up new ways of thinking about engineering problems. One evening, as they watched the gleaming hull of Odyssey take shape through the viewport, Caleb's hand brushed against Navik's claw. Neither pulled away. "I never thought I'd feel this way about a human," Navik said softly. Caleb smiled. Love finds a way, even across the stars. Their relationship became a symbol of the new era, celebrated across allied worlds. As Odyssey neared completion, the crew began to assemble. Dr. Voss watched the diverse group of humans and aliens file aboard, scientists, diplomats, artists, and families from a dozen different species. "Welcome aboard," she greeted them. "Together, we're about to make history." Odyssey's launch was a spectacle unlike any other. As the massive Ark broke free of Earth's gravity, cheers erupted from every world in the Alliance. Elara stood on the bridge, watching the stars stretch into streaks of light as they engaged the faster-than-light drive. Course set for the Andromeda Arm, her navigation officer, a sinuous Aquilian named Zax, reported. Estimated travel time, 3 standard years. Elara nodded. "Take us out, Zax. Our journey begins." Life aboard Odyssey quickly settled into a rhythm. In the ship's vast agricultural domes, human farmers worked alongside Zanari botanists, cultivating crops from 100 worlds. The education center buzzed with activity as scholars from every species shared knowledge and debated philosophy. Months into their voyage, Elara found herself mediating a heated discussion between a human historian and a Vexillian memory keeper. Their different approaches to preserving the past had led to conflict, but as Elara guided the conversation, common ground emerged. "Perhaps," the Vexillian concluded, its bioluminescent tendrils pulsing thoughtfully, "our methods are not so different after all. We both seek to honor those who came before us." The human nodded, extending a hand in friendship. "I'd be honored to learn more about your traditions." As Odyssey pressed on through the cosmic void, such moments of connection and understanding became commonplace. In the ship's central plaza, a Zanari sculptor worked alongside a human painter, their collaborative art pieces drawing crowds of admirers. In the mess hall, chefs from a dozen species combined cuisines in surprising and delightful ways. 3 years into their journey, Odyssey approached its first destination, a promising world orbiting a distant star. As the Ark entered orbit, Elara gathered her team for the first landing operation. "Remember," she addressed the assembled group of human and alien explorers, "we're not just seeking new resources or territories. We're here to spread a message of unity and hope." As the landing craft descended through the alien atmosphere, Elara felt a profound sense of purpose. Odyssey was more than just a ship. It was the embodiment of a dream, a testament to what was possible when different species came together in pursuit of a common goal. The craft touched down on the planet's surface. Elara stepped out, the first in a long line of explorers from across the galaxy. As she surveyed the alien landscape, she knew that this was just the beginning. Odyssey would continue its journey, seeding the stars with outposts of peace and cooperation, forging a new civilization that transcended the boundaries of species and worlds. As Odyssey ventured deeper into uncharted space, Dr. Elara Voss couldn't shake the feeling that their journey held greater significance than anyone realized. The cosmic anomaly they had encountered years ago still haunted her thoughts, its swirling energies hinting at mysteries beyond comprehension. Her suspicions were confirmed when the ship's sensors detected a massive structure hidden within an asteroid field. As Odyssey approached, the object revealed itself, a gleaming monument of impossible geometry, its surface etched with symbols from a dozen known languages and countless unknown ones. "This is it," Elara breathed, her eyes wide as she studied the readouts. "The source of the anomaly." A team was quickly assembled for a closer investigation. As they entered the structure, holographic displays flickered to life, filling the cavernous interior with ghostly light. Elara's heart raced as she deciphered the first messages. "It's a repository," she announced, her voice trembling, "left behind by an ancient race. They call themselves the Precursors." The revelations came in a flood. The peaceful first contact between humanity and the alien alliance, the cultural exchange programs, even Odyssey itself, all had been orchestrated by these long-vanished beings. Their goal, to prevent a catastrophic war that would have torn the galaxy apart. As news of the discovery spread, reactions varied wildly. On the bridge of Odyssey, Zoran, the Zanari commander, paced back and forth, his mandibles clicking rapidly. "Our entire history, a fabrication," he growled. "Our choices, our free will, were they ever truly our own?" Elara placed a comforting hand on his arm. "The Precursors may have set events in motion, But we made the connections. We built this alliance. That was real. Not everyone shared her optimism. Across the Allied worlds, protests erupted. Humans and aliens alike felt betrayed, their accomplishments diminished by the revelation of unseen influence. On Earth, Marcus Wright watched the unfolding chaos with growing unease. He and Lyrax had been celebrating the anniversary of their first meeting when the news broke. Now, his beloved partner's eyes were filled with uncertainty. "What does this mean for us, Marcus?" Lyrax asked, her antennae drooping. "Was our love part of their plan too?" Before Marcus could answer, an alert flashed across their view screen. Lyrax's face drained of color as she read the message. "There's been an attack," she whispered. "The Zenari embassy. They're saying human extremists." Marcus felt his world tilt on its axis. In the days that followed, as Lyrax worked tirelessly to mend diplomatic relations, he found himself drawn into darker circles. Online forums and clandestine meetings buzzed with talk of human subjugation and the need to reclaim their destiny. Then came the day that shattered everything. Marcus returned home to find their apartment in disarray, signs of a struggle evident. Lyrax was gone. Hours later, her body was discovered, the victim of a brutal assault. As Marcus identified her remains, something broke inside him. The grief and rage consumed him, twisting his pain into a bitter ideology. He began to speak out against the alliance, his words finding eager listeners among the disillusioned masses. "We were manipulated," he thundered at a rally. "Our achievements, our sacrifices, all part of some alien scheme. It's time we took back control of our future." His movement grew rapidly, fueled by fear and resentment. Sleeper cells activated across human and alien worlds, working in secret to undermine the fragile peace. On the eve of Odyssey's launch anniversary, Marcus put his plan into motion. A coordinated strike crippled key installations, while his followers seized control of the Ark itself. As alarms blared and chaos reigned, Marcus strode onto the bridge, his eyes blazing with purpose. "For too long, we've been pawns in a cosmic game," he declared. "No more. Today we forge our own path." With the press of a button, hidden explosives detonated across the Alliance's centers of power. The carefully cultivated harmony of centuries began to unravel in an instant. As the first reports of devastation reached Odyssey, Dr. Voss stared out at the stars, her heart heavy. The precursor's grand design lay in ruins, and the future they had worked so hard to build now balanced on a knife's edge. "What happens now?" Zoran asked, his voice uncharacteristically subdued. Alara's gaze hardened with drive. "Now," she said, "we fight for everything we've built, not because it was predestined, but because it's worth preserving." Beyond the viewports, the cosmos stretched out before them, a vast canvas of possibility, waiting to be reshaped by the choices they would make in the crucible of conflict to come.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.